Hey, Jeremy, welcome. What the heck is that? That is some interesting music. Okay, we're just gonna change it on the drop. Welcome in, and we're just getting started. Hope you can hear me. If you can, shout it out. If you can't, too bad. Let's get the games. Oh, I did it again. I started the game like a dummy at the wrong resolution. Which I keep doing. Now I have to wait for the game to boot, which takes like 5 minutes. Some good music. One more time. Select the stream. Watch the stream. See how many people. Oh my god, there's 6 people here already? How is there 100 views already? That can't be right. Oh wait, that's episode 7. Menu. Select stream. There we go. Now I was like somehow looking at the last stream. That doesn't make sense. Alright, game. Come on. Come on. Let's do this. I don't even know what to do today. We're just going to be playing the Square by Modded Square. And I haven't even downloaded any mods recently, so I don't really have anything fancy to show. Don't forget to speak like that. To spank that like button. Why is the resolution off? I hit save, didn't I? Did I not hit save? I hit save. Son of a booger face. Ugh. I have to start the game again. Okay. Make sure I get my file right. I don't have to do this again. Hey Nacho, welcome in. So we're actually going to be on what is this called? New Frontier. I did so I've seen a little bit of news lately. Apparently Scroft already has a preview version. We can chat for a minute while we're waiting for the game. Apparently Scroft already has a preview version of the words. Let's get this in here. Here it is, a preview version of Moss Valley. And I played Moss Valley a little bit. Moss Valley was pretty fun. There we go. This in the background. Yes, apparently Moss Valley was pretty fun. I played Moss Valley in the last version of the game. In FS22. It was a pretty good map. I started playing it, and then the map author did a really big update, and I would have had to have a new game save. I never went back to it. I always wanted to, but I never did. It was a not a great, but it was a nice UK style map. I really liked it because it had a really tight yard, had some really like interesting features of the yard itself and the animal buildings and There wasn't a single piece of flat land anywhere on the map. That's my favorite part. And you know me, we're on here doing a struggle series with no mods, specifically because, you know, because I want to. Start the car. Now, I have changed some settings, and I'm testing out our little road we built. Actually, let's get out of the vehicle. Let's delete this tree. This tree's in the way of my road. It's my road. So I worked on the... You can't actually use the wheel for walking. Interesting. So I made a little bit of a road, and I made the road a little bit wider. So I'm basically making it as wide as these fat tires in most places. And so this is my little road through the valley. It winds and twists and turns and cuts across a few fields. And the one up to the farm we haven't widened yet because it's not part of the main road. It's like a sidetrack. This one right here. Okay, just chatting. Thank you very much. And I'm driving around in circles. Whoa, this is super fun. Like doing donuts with the wheel and like doing this at full speed. Super fun. Sorry. And all you're going to see is flashing lights because I don't have enough light on me. Hold on, let me get the light on. There we go. So now you can kind of see the wheel. The key is getting this... What the heck? I totally owned this tractor into that tree. And we got it. Okay. The overhead cam was interfering with like my actual thumbnail. It's like in front of my face now. What the hell? That's not cool. Why are you hanging down like that right now? Okay. Now it's not in front of my face too much. Okay, there's the wheel. See the wheel? Wheel. Alright, perfect. That's all we want it for. So we made this road last time and I improved on it a little bit. I made a big loop. We should drive the loop. I'm gonna show you guys the loop. We're gonna go on a little drive. So I made this loop, and I'll show the main map. And I don't really know where I was going. I was just kind of like making a road. And part of the reason I was making a road is because I keep doing contracts with music that doesn't fit my desires to be listening to right now. I don't know what I was listening to. Why is the camera drifting? Thrustmaster, you're fired. So I made this little road through the forest, and I kind of got up this way, and I was like, huh, we should get over the other side of the map. There's a little left turn here, which I haven't finished yet, which goes off to like go around the mountain thing. And then we have this track which goes over in this direction, across these big open fields, which eventually we're going to own. I mean, the goal here is to like own stuff. Right? And then we're going to come around this way. And I think there's a one or two missions out in this area. I don't remember. We might go back to them, but... And we go here. And then it kind of loops through and cuts through the forest right here, which is a nice little cut through, I think. and then loops around, and we're kind of near our own property. Our own property is off to our left. And I think this spot right here is where Northern Farm Sim is playing. He's playing on this plot right here. Well, I recognize it from his videos. So I don't know if his road is the same as mine, but whatever. And then I just came through here and looped back to where we started, which is cool. And that was just my idea, is like to be able to, you know, do the things. And there we go. Oh, hard left. And then our actual property is over here. It's just a split off that I missed last time because I was going too fast. And then our smaller road is right here. This leads to our farm. And this is how we get to and from the store. And we're going to go back up and switch tractors and get the forestry tractor and maybe do a little bit of stealing deadwood. Which doesn't require as much driving as anything else, but it does require some fun. And so I don't know how we're to see how that works, because I'm gonna have to like lean forward to actually use the keyboard and stuff. I don't know if that's gonna be comfortable or not. Yeah. Welcome in, everybody. I see PA Plowboy, Nacho Cast, Wranglersaurus Rex, and CBW. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome into my little, not my survival series. This is the one I created. This is one that I wanted to do in, on, what's it called? I wanted to do this specific series on this, like, square by modded square. This is something that Rusty came up with back in 22, and he was doing it on Hinterland. Now, I don't know if Hinterland's going to come back. It might. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm doing it on this because I like this map. Hello? Okay, perfect. And let's check the contracts. What a baling... What? Cool. Baling contracts. Oh, there's actual harvest and baling contracts? Okay, so the harvesting contracts are both, like, poop contracts, because they're doing parsnips, and I'm not doing that. That's not happening. But baling contract sounds fun. I've used the Crone baler. It's actually a nice baler. So I'm going to borrow the items because I don't own them for this one. And then I'm going to accept the other baling contract too. And settings. I'm going to check my settings for contract boost and make sure I can collect bales. Allow collecting bales. Thank you. Back. So we've made sure that we can collect bales. And that's all. That's how easy the settings are now in contract boost. It's just super simple. And then we're also going to take in some deadwood contracts. At least one. Give me a big one. Farmland 33. I haven't done this one. I've done that one. This one I haven't done. We're going to accept this one. And give ourselves something to do. We're going to do 18. I haven't done the one on 18 either. Accept. So let's head up to 18. 8 trees. No problem. And Dust Bunny's here. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. And Jack Sarge. Welcome in, buddy. I know you're having a lot of fun on this map. And by the way, I want to call out Jack. He was playing on this map, and he's experiencing a pretty bad Giants bug right now. Or he was, or is, or he's resolved it slightly. But Jack Sarge was experiencing this bug on this map where he was he placed down a custom goat pasture, and then because the game lets you do it, he deleted the fences. But what happens is that he deletes the fences, everything's fine, and then he saves and exits, comes back in, and his whole farm is gone. Like, all the goats are just disappeared. What's happening in the game engine, from what I understand, let's go this way, I bet money this is what's happening. I bet money that when you create the custom pen, it's creating a shape with those fences. But then as soon as you delete the fences, it's deleting that shape, which means there's no more custom pasture. Like, the game doesn't know about it anymore. So it just thinks, oh, you must be done. I'll just get rid of your custom pasture because you deleted the fences. That must be exactly what you meant to do. And then, so now it's gone. And that's why when you go back into the game, it's like, okay, rebuild this husbandry. Okay, where are the fences? Oh, there's no fences? Oh, there must not be any husbandry. So, okay, we're done. And then the game, you know, so pick one. You either let us draw a custom husbandry with our own fences, or you let us draw a custom husbandry with your fences and delete them, but keep the husbandry. Don't remove the custom field. Seriously, what the heck? Oh wait, deadwood. Our deadwood's right here. In this area. Do that. And we're gonna do this, and then, so, okay, so, I don't know. This is kind of awkward. How does anyone do this? I need like a keyboard tray that sits on top of the wheel, like support things, so that I can still like WASD for myself. All right, so we have how many trees here? We're doing deadwood for field 18. Yes, exactly, Justman. That's pretty much exactly what I just said. It removes the nav mesh because it's basing the nav mesh off of the drawing that you drew with the field. So when you draw with fences, what it shows up in your... I've never done it before, but what it shows up in your save game, is basically a polygon that's drawn with points. 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. And then the game is rendered... That's how it renders fences also. It's a polygon. And each segment of the fence has a start point and an end point. Simple. And what's happening is it's using the same data for two things. One, to render fences, and two, to render the nav mesh. And then once you delete the fences, there's no more nav mesh. So it's like, oh, okay, whatever. Which is a bad thing. Separate those two. The fence should not be tied to the nav mesh. What you should do is, if you're building a custom pen, you can either create fences, or just create a polygon, or create, like, say you have a toggle that says, I just want to draw a nav mesh with no fences. Let me draw a nav mesh just the same way we do for rice fields. They already have the logic in the game. I don't understand why they're not doing it. We have 8 trees to find here. So we have 8 trees. Now, one funny thing about the deadwood contracts is I'm in the deadwood area, the deadwood zone, is, and this is something you can learn. So see this right here? This is the marking for the deadwood trees. It says, hey, this is a deadwood tree. This is a deadwood tree. Right? Those are the markings. And what those markings mean is that you're supposed to cut it. So that's one of the ones you're supposed to cut. The hard thing on this map is, see this tree right here? It looks like a deadwood tree, but it's not. So this map, the deadwood, is actually kind of hard to do because Ola used the deadwood style trees as just regular trees. Like right here, this is not a deadwood tree. This one is. And so when you're cutting them down, you got to be really careful on this map specifically not to cut them down wrong. And then you can do this. This is how I do them. I'm going to trim these. So for deadwood missions, all you have to do is cut them down. You don't have to do anything with them. But I like to take the trees and use the wood in my own sawmill. So as long as you put it into something else before you're done with it, it's fine. F1. And I'm going to make them roughly 10.6 meters long. That. go cut the next one. I only have 8 to do, so it should be pretty easy. One thing about Deadwood I always hate is, like, you get to, like, the last tree, and you're like, I can't find the damn last tree. Yeah. One thing that the way the game engine works for Deadwood, just so you guys understand, is the game engine, I believe, I don't know for sure, but I think the way a Deadwood mission works is a Deadwood mission actually takes existing trees and replaces them temporarily while the mission is active with a Deadwood tree. So it's you can only have Deadwood missions on plots of land that have trees, right? And so I think what the game engine is doing is it's actually just replacing one with the other kind of thing. I think. Now, don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. But I think that's what's happening. But I think it's either replacing or it's finding another tree. It's finding existing trees and then like using random numbers to figure out where to spawn another tree within like a 2-meter radius of that first tree, just so it's not spawning like a Deadwood tree in the middle of nowhere. Right? I think that's how it's working, but yeah. So I think that's what's working. So like these looks like a Deadwood tree, but that one has greenery at the top. And so they have a very similar model to these. So you have to be really careful. But the difference with the Deadwood trees, and you can tell the difference. See this one that has the greenery at the top? If you look at the bottom right here, it's like clean, right? Whereas a Deadwood tree, which is this model, you see how it's got like the bark coming off at the bottom? Right? These are Deadwood trees, the style of tree, but on this map, they're actually not the ones you're supposed to cut down. You need to find this. But the one funny thing about the Deadwood trees is they're always... the paint, the color, that marking is always facing south. So it's always, the marking is always on the south side of the tree. I don't know why they did it that way. It makes it easy because then you can just like, I'm going to approach this whole area. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to look north and see how the marking is on the south side of the tree. So 1, 2, 3. If I'm coming from the south, I can see the markings. Right? Hey, Grumpy Gray, welcome in. Towboat, welcome in. Thanks to your, it's good that you're moving. I'm assuming you're watching on your phone, but I greatly appreciate that even though you're busy at work and you're still on the boat, that you're taking time to come and join the stream. Thank you so much. There's one. This one I'm going to have to angle a little bit so it doesn't hit that other bush. I know the overhead cam, all you're seeing is the... all we're seeing is my arms. We're gonna go up here. So if you, I'm looking in the top left corner. It's hard to see because it's small, but I'm using the lumberjack mod, which gives me the measurements until Timmy's mod comes out later, which is gonna give me the ultimate tree cutting mod. And we have one more tree to find after this. And I usually cut it about, so there's like basically the cut it in half. That's what fits on my trailer pretty well. All right, and we need one more tree. So again, I'm gonna look from the south. I'm on the south side of the field, and I'm just looking at the trees from this angle. There it is. There's the last tree. And the paint is going to be there. So if you're having a hard time finding trees for a Deadwood contract, and I'm only the only idiot who does them all the time, look from the south. That's where you're going to find it. That's where you're going to find the labels or the markings. And of course, when you're if you want to do your own painting and stuff like that, you don't need to do it on the south side of the tree. You can do it wherever you want. But that's where the game does it, and they're not smart enough to rotate the tree. And of course, I'm gonna have to eat my words when they figure that part out. All right, and our contract is done. So now we haven't collected our contract. What we are gonna do is we're gonna hide our F1 menu because we don't need any more. And we're gonna load this stuff up. I lost my keybinds again. Great. Now I'm back in the controls again. Sorry, folks. This one's pretty quick to do. Enhanced vehicle, universal auto load, mouse, 4 and 5. Oh, you know what? Might be too small. There's no way I'm using that claw, so. I think I cut them too long, but that's okay. Why is my mouse acceleration way down? There we go. Fixed it. Press the mouse acceleration button. So Deadwood isn't worth much. Like, it doesn't make sense for most people to take Deadwood and do anything with it. But Deadwood is perfectly good for production wood. If you need good wood for your running a production, Deadwood is great. Here they are. And you can actually run these trailers with the entire tree hanging off the back. It does work. It just looks really funky. It's the strap button. Why is that? Oh. Why the strap button wasn't working is beyond me. So I'm going to steal this Deadwood and then bring it over to my production and put it into my production to make whatever I want. Because the game doesn't want it anymore. So why just leave it here? Yeah, so actually, Grumpy, I was playing earlier. I forgot to cut that one. I was playing earlier, and I was messing with keybinds because I was trying to fix stuff. And there's this weird thing where if you delete like 2 or 3 in a row, if you're not careful, it'll like, oh, do you want to reset everything because you deleted 3 things? Here you go. We're going to reset everything for you. And it keeps resetting all my keybinds. And since now I have a wheel, that's more work. And then I have to keep redoing it. So I've had to redo my wheel keybinds like 3 or 4 times now. But I did figure out that you can just back up your keybind save file. That works. So in your save game directory, just find your keybind save file. This is the secret for finding logs you lost in the grass. Use the F4 key. Press F4 and it turns it into like X-ray mode. Oh, thanks, Ropey Gray. Everyone seems to be liking it, and which means I'm hoping, cross my fingers, I'm hoping the fact that everyone is liking it means that it'll do well on ModHub if Giants ever get back from vacation and test it. But since I don't know when that's going to happen, you know, it could be months, it could be years for all I know. If it makes it ModHub by February, I'll be happy. I don't think it will. I honestly think it's going to be more like February or March before all of the mods that have been waiting since December are actually released. Is this the whole tree? Yeah, it's the whole tree. I just think that they're not doing so great with the testing. I think that they lost some people on their testing team, and they lost, you know, people who cared about the testing team and cared about doing things the right way. And so now you're left with people who don't want it as a job, but they're doing it because they have to. And because of that, it's losing quality. You know, to be frank about it, like, that's just what it seems like. Now, is there another tree? Sometimes it's easier to see the trees from like up high like this. I feel like there was another tree. Where do we get them all? Yep, there it is. I knew there was another one. Must be how that damn plow made it through. Was there a plow that made it through? I did see like there was a plow or something that got released during like during the holiday, like while they were gone, or while they were supposedly on vacation. There was still a release. The only thing I can think of is that was a scheduled release, like that some modder asked for it to be released on a certain date, which is fine. I've done that myself. Like asked for a certain date. They don't usually abide by that, but you can ask. Alright. Done with the mouse. Gosh, took forever. Alright, where am I going? I don't have roads over here, so I'm driving blind. Oh, there's the road. Sweet. See, now I have a road to follow, and I can find my way back to my own farm without like having to really, really follow the map. Alright. Anyways, oh, thanks for coming in, Grumpy Gray. I hope you have a good night's sleep, and we'll catch you again next time. I'm going to be kind of streaming on and off most of the week if I can, as I'm on break. So keep your eyes out if you guys want to see more live streams. I'm probably not going to do recorded content on until we get some actual maps. This is obviously kind of like No Man's Land, where it's like the first map, and it's the one that everyone plays on for a long time until more maps come out. And since Calms In is out, or in testing, Moss Valley is out, and we're seeing some other maps on other sites and stuff like that come out as well. It is possible that we're going to get new stuff. They didn't even try to use it on Hootan Pentai. There's a lot of stuff that I don't get some of the decisions that the Giants made. Really? Like, the dairy one. I did a live stream on that, on fixing the dairy on... Riverbend. See, I can't even remember the name of the map. I love it so not. On Riverbend and Hootan and Zelonka, they went to the effort of making custom dairies dairy buildings, but then didn't actually turn them into dairies. They just made them stupid sell points, and they called them dairy or whatever. And there's a custom dairy for each map as a placeable. But it's not an actual dairy, which is just dumb if you ask me. Like, what are you doing? This tractor is not as responsive as the fast track, and it does not have 4-wheel steering, so I'm struggling a little bit. Alright, so let's get out and let's hit the trigger. Now, I know that the one thing is actually interesting. See, now I just got all that deadwood into my mill, and now my mill. I'm not getting. Now I collect that contract. So now that the wood is gone, doesn't exist anymore, I'm gonna come in here to my contract, collect it, and if I missed anything, it'll clean it up. There's a script that runs that basically says, okay, of all the deadwood trees, just remove everything now that we're done, and it removes them. But let's go do those baling contracts. Why are we driving across the field? Oh, my foot is on my foot is sitting there on the gas pedal. Not used to this gas pedal thing yet. But yeah, so like they put in a lot of effort on a lot of maps, and then they just didn't use stuff. Like, why can't you do the tutorial on Hootan Pantai? Why not? Like, when you select a map, now on every single gameplay for the rest of time, you're gonna have to say, no, I don't want the new farmer tutorial. What is that? That's just dumb. That's just, what are you thinking? I made roads and I'm not even trying to drive on them. I don't know what's going on. Actually, I wanted to go this way to go to this other thing. Nope, they're not comfortable, but I did get some driving shoes. Not driving shoes, but I have a pair of like Vibram shoes. You remember those? Remember those when those the like soulless shoes where you can feel everything on the ground was a trend. I got a pair of these for like $20 on like some deal site or whatever. And I don't really wear them that much because they're not very comfortable to walk in. But they work great as driving shoes. Okay, we're gonna park this guy here, turn him off, tab over to the store, and get into this thing, whatever this thing is. This looks to be the little mini fence. You're using the wheel that came up for FS19? Very cool. There we go. Get up. Zoom out. We actually are doing some actual legit farm work. That's pretty cool. So yeah, so Dustbunny, you asked the pedals. They're not comfortable. No. Actually, hold on. If I get out of this thing, this is sunflowers. So the mods work together. Isn't that cool? So this is a sunflower field. And you're thinking to yourself, why is there straw on a sunflower field? Well, that's because they added it. Or rather, I have the extended straw crops mod, and because that straw crops mod adds straw to sunflowers, now I can have baling contracts on a sunflower field. That's pretty cool, right? Oh, cool. Thanks for stopping in, Northern Farm Sim. Glad you were able to drop in for a bit. Good luck recording, and we'll catch you soon. You're like so far ahead of your recording. I don't have time for recording. I think if I stop modding, I might have time to record actual content. But that's not happening anytime soon, so I probably won't record any content, like have recorded content, until either A, all my mods get released, or B, oh, the round baler extension mod even works with the wheel. Yeah, gotta go get rich with my sawmill. Exactly. Everyone who's using it is saying the same thing. They're like, oh, time to go get rich. Which was the intention. 100% the intention. Three hours a night. Ciao. Alright, well, good luck. Grumpy Gray. 3 vids waiting to go out for the next 3 days. Tomorrow is to survive 25 upstate. See, you guys are... I don't know where you get the time. But I did fix the final bug, the final major bug that's fixable for my contract boost mod. Very happy about. So the collecting silage bales issue has been fixed. I think this baler actually supports larger bales. Maybe on the next field we'll do larger bales. And put it in a GPS mode. Yeah, so with the sawmill and all of the fill stations, the idea behind them is not only to make things easier and to be able to get things for cheaper that for some stuff that I think is too expensive, but also to make a ton of money. So like the sawmill, if you have a sawmill and then you put down a sell point from the same sawmill pack, the sell point will buy all of the stuff you make at the sawmill for like 150% of what it normally is. So if it sells for $1,000 normally, it's going to buy it for $1,500. And since you can place it anywhere you want, some people, like Jack had a great idea on his playthrough. Jack Sarge, he used this plot that I'm actually on right now and put down the sell point version of the sawmill over here. So he had to cart the stuff somewhere. And I wish I'd thought of that. But turned like a field here into a sell point area. And he put a bunch of sell points down. And my sawmill is one of them, which is cool. And then making money hand over fist from the sawmill. But you could also make money hand over fist with fill stations. Like you could be in like new farmer mode, place down a fieldwork fill station on your farm. Not the free one even. You could do it with the one you pay money for. And then immediately you could just fill up a trailer with lime, sell it back to the same sell station, or lime or fertilizer. I think fertilizer sells for more, solid fertilizer. And just do that over and over for 5 minutes, and then you'll be a millionaire, and then you can do whatever you want. So no government subsidy signs needed. You're just buying and selling. Play in the market. That's the intention. I got that idea way back with the first ever sell point that I ever made, which was the I don't think anyone here has ever seen it because I never released it. I made something called the flea market back in 22, and it was using the farmers market building. It was all blacked out, and I basically turned that farmers market into a buy and sell anything. And so you could buy anything and sell anything, but most of the time I used it with some friends as a sell anything. It was basically a sell everything before Schultz came out with his sell everything. That was mine, and it was basically just a sell point. Really nice sell point to sell just about anything. And some of the stuff that you normally can't sell, like fertilizer and lime and stuff like that you could make in productions, you got a sell point for them, which is the reason to make that kind of mod, because you want to be able to buy that stuff, right? So we do have the collect bales collect bales option turned on. Okay, now what that means, and this is just so everyone understands how it works. I'm going to say it now. We're going to lift up. We're going to turn off. Can't seem to bind one of the keys on my keyboard. So basically, see how we have these bales in the field? We have the bales in the field. We finished our contract. If we look in our settings for this thing, we have allow collecting bales. And it says here, note. Read it. Read the screen, folks. Up right over there. Read on the screen. It says, note, when enabled, all contract bales will need to be collected and will remain if not collected. So, what that means is normally you finish a contract and then you fast forward past this really crazy song. I must have picked a genre that I don't like over here, and it's just going crazy. I think it was this one. No, I don't want that. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Sorry, I had to deal with this setting. Which means if I go over here to collect my contract, this is my baling contract. I'm only making $1,900, but if I collect it right now, I would make $1,900, but the bales would remain. I'm not going to do it because I need this machinery, because I borrowed this, at least the machinery for this field. So if I won't have a baler to bale the other field. So we're not going to collect it now. We're going to collect it afterwards. But I'll show you after I do the other field what it means. So basically, after I bale the field, if I hit collect, the bales are just going to stay. They're not going to go anywhere. Lower it down, turn it on, and collect some straw off of another sunflower field, I think. But basically, I made it so that the game doesn't delete stuff. There's basically a line of code in that the game does where it says, okay, you're done with a baling contract. Good job. I'm just going to delete, once you collect it, it's just going to delete everything off the field. Right? So whatever's left on the field, it's just going to delete it so that the contract is over. I just basically told the game not to do that. I told it nicely, though. I was real nice about it. I was like, hey, if you want to, can you please just not collect the bales? That would be really nice. And I'll make sure that the players know that they have to collect. With the wheel, I so much prefer doing like little loops like this instead of like trying to do backing up and stuff. I don't know why. It just... doing little loop-de-loos with the wheel is super fun. Yeah, I just saw Dust Bunny's comment. Yeah, it'll be super. I'll be super excited once the sawmill gets out on ModHub. Mainly because, you know, the sawmill options that are in base game are just kind of not great. They're expensive, they're slow, and they don't hold very much. I don't know, Giants. A lot of the mini productions they've released are just kind of eh. Not a big fan of them. I would love to release like a set of like Speedy Gonzalez mini productions. Where like they're just the same mini productions, but they just have the production speed turned up. But I'd rather do it if I can make my own. Oh, I forgot to make the bales bigger. Oh well. Guess I'll just use all the same size bales. The default balers are actually pretty good. This one especially, for picking up a little bit wider than usual. A little bit more forgiving. And I do not have that mod, the extended pickup mod, which is essentially doing exactly what my code does for all platforms for the VPW. And I think they're actually going to conflict. I don't know how I managed to do that without missing a spot. Like, hitting those corners like that. I don't know how I'm not hitting, like, I'm not missing anything. So the other, I don't know what I'm going to be able to do about the pedals. Pedals are the only thing with this wheel that's I'm still not super happy about. The angle is just, I got the driving shoes now. The angle still hurts. Still didn't hurt. It's not pleasant. So I don't know what I'm going to do about it. I'm not going to change to my sitting position. This is how I like sitting. But there's like aftermarket changes to change how the pedals work. And I'm hoping that I can take one of those and maybe modify it to like, modify the pedals to be to have a different angle. But I don't know. I have to contact people to make those mods. But most of those people who are making mods are just making stuff that's 3D printed, so I'm assuming that I can 3D print my own stuff to make it the way I want it. Hey, Jay's Virtual Gaming, welcome in. Thanks for joining the live stream and jumping out in chat. Grumpy is actually, I think he signed off. He was going to bed. So he may not be here right now. My apologies. And contract finished. Yeah, I mean, I already opened a ticket with him. I already opened a trouble ticket with Moza. It's not like it just feels like they released a trucking bundle, but they didn't release they released racing pedals with a trucking bundle. And maybe they're just working on trucking pedals. Maybe I can demo them. I don't know. I actually contacted Moza not for that, but I contacted them to see if they have affiliate program. All right, so we made 11 bales total with the 2 fields. And we need to unload the unfinished bale. So I'm going to hit O to unload the unfinished bale. This is a PC-only mod, but it allows you to unload a bale that's not finished. And then I'm going to get out of this tractor. I'm just going to leave it running. I don't care. Now, if everything works right... Now, I don't know if it's going to, because I've been messing with this mod a lot lately. But I should be able to collect. And then collect. And then all the bales should still be here. So see, the bales are all still here. Which means they're going to stay here forever until I pick them up. So that means I need to get my bale trailer and go pick them up. And I guess I'll put them into my fermenter, I guess. They're just straw bales. I don't like how the first stage of growth for the grass, like, which is this right here, I don't like how it looks like broccoli. Like, it doesn't look like grass. It looks like kind of broccoli. It's kind of weird looking. Yep. Driving through the bushes. Go pick ourselves up some bales. Grab ourselves a bale trailer. Welcome in, everybody. We got 12 awesome people in chat right now. That's pretty amazing, especially for a last-minute stream. And I want to apologize for the last-minute streams because it's kind of one of those things where I don't really know a schedule ahead of time when I'm going to have free time to be able to stream and hang out with you guys. So it's just kind of like, oh, okay, I got a couple hours now. I can do it. First priority's got to be family and whatnot, you know. And it's such a big wheel too. It's like to put it the size of the wheel in perspective. It's hard to see because everything's black and I'm wearing black and you can't really see this. But like the wheel is the size of my arm, elbow to elbow. Like this is the tip. Like I'm holding the wheel and my elbow is on the other end of it. So it's as long as my arm. It's huge. I love it. I love the fact that it's huge. And because I'm sitting upright in this position, it's super easy to palm the wheel too. So this is the ponge. How do you pronounce this? Pongy? Ponge? What do you guys think? Do you think it's called a ponge or a pongy? Oh, I must have missed something in the... Oh, that'll remind me. I'm going to change it like that because that'll remind me that I need to fix that. Ponge, not pongy. Okay. So it's ponge. It's like French. I'm assuming that means it's a French company, right? Ponge. Ponge. Don't anyone ever call it that. Yeah, a lot of those like the newer and the fancy racing wheels are all like this, like you're like this. You're super tight. But this is like, okay, let's see how big we can make it. And Yahtzee. Now, I don't know if this is like part of the Giants' thing, but I would think that the empty trailer sound, which is cool, by the way, when it's empty, I would think that the empty trailer sound should go away when the trailer's not empty. Just my own opinion. But as far as like on the scale of important stuff to fix, doesn't matter. That's a good question. He sent me most of this stuff set up on his about his wheel. I don't know how he set up the pedals. I'm just using the pedals as they came out of the box. And I would imagine that anyone who doesn't sit in like a gaming chair where they're sitting back like this, like sitting way back like this, right? Like if you're sitting in a gaming chair or a rig, then the pedal angle is going to be perfect. But I'm not sitting in a pedal chair or a rig, and so the angle is just off. And so I'm going to have to do some problem solving and try to figure out how to adjust the pedals to my size or my positioning restrictions. Is that the right way to say it? It's so weird that like I drew these roads in, and now I'm following the weird like curves that I put into it intentionally. It's so funny. Like you naturally want to follow a road. As I don't know, humans or something, we want to follow the road. I like the gravel sound in tires too. Like that gravel sound, which was like a mod for 22. I don't know if you guys remember the tire sounds mod. That was a PC only mod for 22, and they've added that same logic, I guess, to the base game. Here we go. Oh. Oh, looks like I backed that up like I knew what I was doing. Oh, that's mine. That is actually the silo that I made on a live stream. I made a live stream where I made a silo and fermenting pack from all of the base game silos that were part of the maps. Why am I still messing with this thing? I made a silo and fermenting pack, and this was one of them. So this is a fermenter. If we look at it, it just says fermenter. It does chaff, grass, hay, straw, which I'll have to activate because now there's some straw in there. I don't like the fact that you, like, just the icon being slightly brighter isn't enough to tell me that this is on. Like, there should be a big green check mark here or something like that to say, hey, this is active, right? That's a whatever. I do like that they don't have all of the production recipes all in one big list right here. I think that's a really great change. It means that if you do have a production that has a lot of recipes, it doesn't like take over your whole entire production thing. And I love this, that they, hey, you can see the productions and like what they take for stuff you don't have, like the ones that are available on the map. Yeah, I could. I didn't, but I totally could. And I usually do, for the sake of that mod. When I was making it, I just didn't add the digestate, but I usually add a digestate as a byproduct. I just haven't done it yet. But yeah, I usually do. So that was fun. We still have one more. Oh, I'm gonna do some like I'm gonna do more driving stuff instead of more work stuff. So we can actually do those two fields. Both of those fields are now up for contracts for cultivating. So I'm going to do that. But let me look first and see if I can buy a cultivator. First of all, do I own a cultivator? Before I like go borrow equipment, do I own a cultivator? can't hit the down arrow? Oh, come on. Giants. Oh, yeah, I can. Yes, I can. I have to click on one of them first. I own this. But that's not a cultivator. And a roller. Let's see what we got in the ModHub for cultivators. I mean, I'm going to have to get one eventually. So let's see what I have in my mods that I have downloaded so far. Which is like... the store is super empty. Apparently I have a lot of cultivators. I have this one, which is not a cultivator. I have this one. I have this one, which is a Giants mod. It's only 5 meters, though. The front cultivator. This one's only 4 grand. What? Wait, what's the difference between these? 14. It's trailing Vibrishank. Oh, and this is like a 3-point Vibrishank. I don't know which one do I want. I kind of want the trailing one. Let's check this out. No harrow. Add a harrow for sure. Width as big as possible. That makes it 5.7 meters. That seems good enough. Shank color. Black. Hell yes. Rim color. Sort of black. It's good enough for me. Okay. Only 5 grand. Then I don't have to lease stuff. Let's buy that. Sweet. I may want a bigger one later on, but that's kind of all I have. I also have this, which I made, which is way more expensive. This is the Dalbo one from the base game, but I made it so that it's color customizable. And you can make it look really fancy if you want, because I'm amazing. I did that. Yeah. But we can do that one later. That one's really nice. That's the one I'm using in my other playthrough. Those are all expensive. Expensive. That's a plow. 64 grand for the stone picker? Gosh, that's so far off. All right. Thanks, Chase. Almost everything. I think there's only 1 or 2 things that I've been working on that I haven't released yet, quote unquote. Almost everything is either available on my Discord. Okay, I'm not typing in the typing field while driving. Almost everything that I've made is available on my Discord, so feel free to join the Discord. That's the link right there. Or it's or on my GitHub directly. So that's just the easiest way for me to release stuff, and also release updates. The big benefit I think that GitHub has over stuff like itch.io is it's not really clear on itch.io if you have the most recent version or if there were other versions, because it just overwrites what was there. So it's a little bit unclear, which is part of the reason why I use GitHub. You know, I haven't, Jack Sarge. I haven't, but that's worth a try. It's definitely worth a try. Do I have Mikolai's ape on here? I think I do. No, I don't. I don't have it on here. Yeah. It would look funny. But you know what? I totally just bought a cultivator without even accepting the contracts. Alright, let's accept the contracts first. I'm like heading over to cultivate fields that I haven't even like taken the job to actually do them. And so I used, actually, I'm pretty sure I used this, a blackout mod. Huh? Oh, you're talking about the Black Editions mod? Yeah, so that's not a script mod. That is my mod. And what I mean by that is it's the mod that I make stuff for myself. So I'll show you real quick. Nacho was asking about the Black Editions mod. This one right here. So the Black Editions mod, these are all of the stuff that I've made custom versions of for myself. This is the first one I made, and I showed this on a stream once. This is I haven't made this one color configurable, but I will. But these are just the stuff that I'm using in my playthroughs. Like the trailer that I've been using is this one. Like the default trailer doesn't have tire options, and these are some pretty awesome tire options. Or colorizing, the ability to make things colored, right? But this is just the stuff I've done so far. So this one, which is the one we looked at earlier. All the Pansfelt stuff, which was what I started this series with. The Pits trailer. This is the Pits trailer, and as you can see, it has dual bunks or single bunks for universal auto load, which is pretty cool. I think that it's actually not configured properly. It's supposed to have one bunk there. I don't think I finished it, but it does have the ability to change the color of. I mean, that's a beautiful trailer, if you ask me. But yeah, all the Dalbo stuff. My version of the Transstar Eagle, which has off-road tires, which looks badass. It looks way better with off-road tires. My version of the Dragon, which also has the same off-road tires, and lots of trailer configurations, including Insane and Redonkulous. And then these ones, all of the Pansfelt stuff. The Fanzelt. I'm totally saying it wrong. I'm dyslexic. But this one is also color configurable. So, yeah. This one is the Black Editions. I don't remember, actually, if it's available on my GitHub. I'm pretty sure it's available on my Discord. But it is actually, no, it is on GitHub. It's a couple versions out of date. I've added a couple things that are on here that aren't anywhere else yet. So just so you know, if you do download it, it might not have everything that I'm showing here. Or it might have more stuff than I'm showing here. I don't know. I can't keep them all on track. But yeah, so the Black Editions one is basically my way of making modifications of base game equipment, and I only really do it when I need something. Nope. When I need something for a gameplay. And so I'll usually only change the stuff that I want to use in a gameplay. Or if somebody asks for something to be added and it's not too hard, I'm adding them. But for the most part, most of the stuff that I'm doing in there is just adding in color selection and, you know, minor, like if I'm adding a tractor or something, I'm adding in a few extra engine configurations, like you know, a chip or whatever. See, getting used to it. Getting used to it slowly. Keep rolling backwards in my chair, though. Yes, and so the Oxbows are on the list. If you want me to move them up higher in the list, we'll probably look them up higher on the list. For me, there's actually the other one I've done. I don't know if it's on here. Is it on here? The other one that I've done, it's not here. I have the you know, the Amity blah 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 sugar beet harvester. I updated that thing to work for all of the crops. And I know I know somebody else did it also, but theirs isn't colorable. Mine is. And that was the reason I did it, is not only work for all of the new crops like the green beans and spinach and peas, but also to be colorable, and because I don't like having to spend $500,000 when you're doing like a start from scratch style playthrough. I don't want to spend $500,000 to freaking buy such a really stupid expensive harvester. That just doesn't make sense to me. Like I don't get that. But again, I'll release the Enmity one also. That one's something I just did for, I did that for Bruce, and then I haven't actually released it because I didn't need to. But it'll get there. I've been really focused on the contract boost stuff. I want to get that done and ready for submission to Giants as an update so that it's already waiting by the time they get back from break. With how slow they've been lately with testing, like my goal is by the end of break to try to get most, if not all, of the mods that I want Giants to test, or that I want to be out from ModHub. To get those mods out from ModHub, I want them all waiting for Giants, just in the testing queue. And then once that's done, I can start focusing on some of the stuff that's more for myself, like the Enmity Harvester, which will never go to ModHub, or like the Black Edition stuff, which is no way that's going to ModHub because they don't like XML edits. But there are a few things that are going to ModHub that with the stuff that I'm trying to get out for all platforms. The big one, if I can do it, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to, is I want to try to get the variable pickup width submitted to ModHub by the end of break. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. I just got another project to do for tonight and tomorrow, but variable pickup width is next on my list now that I've gotten that last bug in contract boost fixed. And that was like, that was kind of I worked on that one for a long time in 22, and it was pretty popular even though it came out like right before the end of FS22, and unfortunately it got released like after people had already kind of like given up on FS22, right? So its download count and ratings count isn't very high, but the people who liked it, the people who downloaded it, everyone loved it. So I'm trying to get that out as soon as possible for all platforms. And then there's a couple that are in there. They're definitely not all platforms mods, and that's fine. I'm not trying to do everything for all platforms. But if it's possible to do something like that, to do a mod for all platforms, I'm going to try. So I think that, to some degree, a lot of console players are missing out on some of the really cool mods we get on PC, and because modders don't take the time to try. Like one of the ones I started working on, I think I did a video on it, which is the Water Company, which is something that I got the idea from the Deadwood map. And the Water Company was supposed to be for all platforms. And I had solved a pretty big problem with it right towards the end. But I wasn't able to finish it before 22 came out, or 25 came out. So that one's still like sitting there waiting to get converted. And I have some really awesome ideas on the Water Company. I want to release the Water Company as like a pack of like 7 or 8 different water towers, production tower styles. And there's no reason to place more than one, but you can if you really want to. But the idea being is that to have a water company on your map that distributes water for all platforms and distributes water to husbandries. It will distribute to husbandries. It will distribute to productions. It will distribute to everything, with some add-ons. Working within Giant's system to do it. And no one's been able to do that for all platforms. The closest one was the one that came out, the automatic watering that came out for 22. That was like, but it wasn't actually automatic watering. It was automatic. It was like, what? Here, have 1 billion liters of water and overflow your husbandry, so you'll never have to water it again unless you run out of that 1 billion liters of water, at which point it's not automatic at all. Which is how that one worked. In case you were wondering. Did I just ruin the secret? So I am using a little bit of like I've got my keybinds working pretty well. I'm using a little bit of my enhanced guidance to keep straight lines. Because I like perfectly straight lines. I don't like having to go over the course stuff more than once. And the whole reason to be doing contracts, and the whole reason to be doing this, is we want to expand. We want to expand our land. I want another piece of land. We have one grass field, but that's not enough. We want to expand. The whole goal of this square by square challenge is to expand as much as possible. And of course, we're still in like the 3rd month, so it's not like we're not going fast. We're also not going slow. So for the most part, I'm keeping the time at like 1 or 2. Do this. Keeping the time at like 1 or 2. And just kind of taking things how they happen. The assist for lime and fertilizer. Oh! You mean like the free lime and fertilizer for contract boost or something else? Excuse me? A little bit under the weather. My apologies. That was totally gross. One of the mods that actually is Nacho. I'm not sure if it's the one you're talking about, but trickle usage is another script mod that I have for 22 that was also released towards the end that I'm gonna be bringing over to 25. And now that I know how to add stuff to the settings UI much easier, and that is all like, that was what I was waiting for that one. I didn't know how to make settings, and now I do. And so I'll get right on that, the trickle usage, which was, for me, one of my favorites. I always feel like the base game spreaders, specifically the ones for lime, are just, they just use too much. And that's a PC mod that just basically changes the usage rates for lime and fertilizer and seeds to not be crazy. I actually had a contract on Hutan. I was doing... Whoops, that's not the right button. Yeah, exactly. Until we get precision farming. I don't know if we're going to get precision farming. I mean, we probably won't get precision farming unless John Deere pays for it. Honestly. And who knows if that's going to happen. But I had a contract on Hutan that I did on stream 2 weeks ago, maybe, where I used like 30 or 40,000 liters of seeds to plant a wheat field in a contract. Like literally 30 or 40,000 liters of seeds. And I went through the first like 8 bags myself, buying the seeds, which is dumb. And I basically spent more than I was getting from the contract for a contract return on seeds. And eventually I was like, you know what, screw this. I'm just going to console command this seed in because it's using too much. I should bring my flea market back. Just thinking about it. Now that Giants is using a different model for the farmer's market, now that they're using a different model for the farmer's market, I could use their original flea market model and actually release my flea market. I mean, it's just the same thing as just to sell anything. But if I make it a selling station and a buying station and a warehouse all in one, I think that might be kind of cool. Where you could sell everything you can think of, you could buy everything you can think of, and you can also have a warehouse for everything you can think of, all in one building. I think that would be pretty cool. I think that would be a cool mod. But again, not part of my list. Josh, stop thinking of new stuff. Stop thinking of new things. Just finish what you started. I get too many good ideas. If I could do modding full time somehow, I could totally come up with so many cool things that everyone would probably like. But alas, modding does not pay the bills. It's just fun. For me, it's fun. I mean, some people probably not. But for me, it's fun. It's fun to see what I can do within the confines of the game's engine. And then, in some cases, breaking outside of the confines of that game's engine to see what else you can do that's not within the confines of the game's engine. That's equally fun. Like the mower. I'm already working on the version, like, 1.2 of the mower. The Bednar mower. Already working on version 1.2 of it. Even though version 1 was already submitted to Giants and it's waiting testing. I'm already working on the next version. Add some more features to it. Fix a couple really small things that most people will never notice. That's one thing I need to do, Nacho. I need to find someone who's good at the models and really good at making models and who wants to do the modeling side, because I've got lots of great ideas. I just don't have the time right now to learn Blender. Um, and in some ways, it's a little bit of laziness, honestly. I mean, Blender is just another piece of software. I'm sure I could learn it if I really tried. But I'd rather focus on the code side of things because I know I can make the code really good. I just need to find someone who can make models for me. I have a really, really awesome idea that I've had a couple people show some interest for a completely unique silo system because I want to have my own silos. I want to have at least one, if not more than one, set of my own silos because Giants' stupid policy on, you know, they won't pay you unless it's your own model kind of thing. I want my own set of silos because I want to make my own productions, like that fermenting production. Like, it would be great to have that as something I can submit to Giants. And for that matter, I already have the models themselves. I just need someone who can help me get them from Blender into to basically take existing models that already exist in the world, that already exist as, you know, whatever, make them to be able to be colorable in game. I will do the rest. I literally have the models ready to go. I have over 100 custom models that I've paid for that I want to bring into the game. But the piece that's missing for me is that border between Blender and Giants. And the contract's finished. Good job, Josh. Fold. Oh, it's just really slow. I'm putting up the fold, pressing the fold button, and nothing's happening. But it turns out it's just because it's really slow. Like, I already have, let's think, what would I have for models? I already have a full set of silos that would make a really good silo pack. I have a full set of over 100 US farm buildings that would make an amazing US style farm set with big buildings, enterable buildings you could go inside. I have a full set of those buildings, but I just have to bring them into the game and get them into the game. And it's right now with the Giants exporter being stupid, and I can't seem to figure out how to get it to work right. I'm stuck. So I really just need a modeler. So if anyone knows a modeler, or anyone who's watching this is a modeler and would want to partner with me or work on some of this stuff with me, I would love to talk to you. For that matter, I'd be willing to pay for someone's time to help me with this stuff. I'm not asking for, some of it's asking for completely stuff that doesn't exist, but there's also a lot of work that I need to do in taking something that does exist and just getting it from Blender into GE. That's all I need. You only model part-time? Only underwear ads? Yeah. Or you're a hand model? Or you only turn left? I'm just gonna off-road up this hill because it's fun. This is where I was parking all my equipment over here, but it's kind of hard to see with all the bushes. So I'm gonna change my idea. I want to park it up here. So I want to take down that hill. I want to, like, clear that forest. So I'm going to use this big open area here, spread things out. Perfect. And we should move this stuff too, if we can. Where's the hitch for this thing? Is that it? It's kind of hard to see because of the grass. Yeah, I totally just drove over the hitch. Ah, there it is. Yeehaw! That's my cedar. Which I think I have to download an update. I heard that the modder who made this already released an update to fix some of the stuff that I actually found wrong with it. So it reminds myself I have to download an update to this. Hopefully it's colorable now. I don't know why I'm just driving. Like, with the wheel, it's just so much more fun. Like, this, what I'm doing right now, just reorganizing tools, it's actually really fun. It's so silly, right? It's so dumb. I don't know why. I mean, it's a new toy. I get it. I guess this is really all it is. It's a new toy. Now, can I mentally do this backing up thing? I got it. Nice. Now, I don't own this land. I'm going to own this land. I think this is going to be one of the plots of land I expand into, because I want to put my farm barns, like, pretty much right where the equipment is right now. That's where I want to put the barns. Right, so, let's turn that off. Let's collect on that contract, because we did some work. We should make the money off the contract. Right? So, collect. Yes. And collect. Yes, let's make sure we're getting the right amount. 260, yeah, that looks right. We can go up to our other machine, which is still here, and we can go find some deadwood. Sweet. I like how there's a straw texture in the forest ground here. That's cool. I don't know where Ola got that, but I like it. Where am I? I'm at the edge of the land. Where's the other end of it? Oh god, this is a big circle of area to search. Okay, I'm outside the circle. Oh, this is not going to be a fun Deadwood mission. Look how dense this forest is. I mean, if I was coming in here with a tree harvester, this would be awesome. But getting this tree out of here is going to be hell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to super strength this tree out of here right away. Just so I don't have to deal with it inside that crazy thing. Did I lose it? I lost it. I was trying, didn't work. It was like, no, you can't do that. You can't super strength that across everything. There are collisions now with super strength. Collisions. Collisions. Can't bypass collisions, apparently. Oh my gosh, this is the worst dense forest ever. Okay, it's going right here in the sun. Luckily there's... Oh gosh. There's only like 6 trees to find. The question is if I could find them. Oh, there's 2. 3. I might have to bring this over to the hill. Go. Up. Up. Up on the hill. You stay there. Okay, I lost the other tree that they cut down already. There it is. So this map actually does make Deadwood missions really challenging. Because the forest, some of them are really dense, like this one. And the Deadwood trees are being used as regular trees all over the place. Hey Brady, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming in and checking out the live stream while I try to steal Deadwood. Like, I'm only gonna get like 6,000 or 7,000 liters of wood, like the equivalent of 1 tree. So it doesn't really make sense for me to put a lot of effort into this, but I'm doing it anyways. I don't know why, I just am. One thing I can do though is take my feet off the pedals, because it's hurting my ankles. Like, see, this is a Deadwood tree, but it's not a Deadwood tree. It's the style of the Deadwood tree, but not the right one. So 57%, that means I have 3, maybe 4 more to find. Oh, there's one. There we go. We get these out in the clearing, or else we're never going to find them again. This right here on this empty spot of land. There you go. We're inside the zone, so we have to look for the markings. I'm so happy we finally got the running mod. I don't remember what it's called. I don't remember what the running mod's called. The real speed something something. Do I still have the tree? I do. Look at that magic. Okay, one more. One more. This is always the hard part. You only have one more. and stuff is so tight, close together, it's hard to see the markings. See, that kind of looks like it, but I think that's just a bush, yeah. Fast farmer? No, not a fast farmer. Player movement or something like that. Loki released it right before Giants went on break. I'll have it. There's a setting for it, I think. Oh, lumberjack. Player movement. Yeah, it's called player movement. You know, I think that I actually am amused by that that comment, Nacho, because you know, Silver Run was more forestry, and we didn't even get all the stuff from Silver Run. We got some of it. We didn't get all of the tree types. We only got some of them. So I mean, Silver Run was the one that was like super forestry focused, which makes it weird that now everyone's doing forestry. But I think this map, everyone who's on this map is doing forestry because that's really all there is to do. Didn't even get a silo for peas and beans. Yeah, because Giants doesn't think of those things. I also don't think that they test their features is the same level that I think we expect that they test them. I think their testing is a little bit lacking in general. I don't think they test their features as well as we think they do. If that makes any sense. I think we think that they're like they've got teams of testers testing features, and I think the reality is probably something like 2 or 3 interns are testing the game itself, and or 2 or 3 interns are testing mods, and everyone who's paid is actually testing the game. The ones who are testing the game are doing high five testing. You guys ever heard me explain what high five testing is? High five testing is what most modders do. Where they open up their testing to like their Discord, and then the people who are testing are like, oh dude, high five, thanks for letting me have your mod early. High five, it looks awesome. High five, great job. Like that's the only feedback that they get. So I call that high five testing because in my mind that's not actual testing. Like if you're one of my testers, if you're not trying to break the mods that I'm making in every humanly way possible, then I don't want you to be one of my testers. I don't need high five testers. I need testers who are trying to make things not work. Trying to find the little holes or things that I forgot. Whoa, 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 oh, 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 found it! Yeah, the player movement mod. Yep. Thank you, Dust Bunny. Player movement from Loki. Which basically just, you can see it. It updates the player walking speed by, I think, like 25% or 50%. And it updates the run speed by like 80%. I think there's a settings file somewhere. And there's keybinds. But basically just, making it so that you're not... So it's not super slow. Because we're not even the same speed we were. Like, FS22, you weren't even that fast. right? How big are these? These are 21, so if I cut them in 7-meter lengths, I'll be able to pick them up. Where's the thing? Here. I want to be able to auto-load them. Now, I'm not trying to make money off these. You can't make money off them. They're just not good enough for making money off of. Where are the other ones that I threw down? One more here. Totally gonna miss one at least. And there's 3 on the top side. And with the player movements mod, you can actually run with a chainsaw. So there's that. Because that's what everyone wants to do with their free time. Is run with a chainsaw. Right? Okay. There's that one. There's this one. Yeah. I don't like the chainsaws either. I mean, this one, the one I'm using, when it works, thank you very much. The one that I'm using, it has a pretty good sound. It's not great. It's better than the default. The base game, the new chainsaw sound is atrocious. The new base game sound is horrible. I don't know whose idea was to use that sound effect, but it's lame. It's just not a good sound effect. This one is a little bit better. This is the competition saw or whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. I modded it to make it black. I wish the axe, like, the one thing I think this game needs is the axe to actually be an axe. I really hope that somebody can figure that out and make the axe actually chop like an axe and not just be a chainsaw with a different model. I really hope someone can figure that out. Not me. I don't care that much. But I hope someone can figure that out. Because that would be my favorite. I like the handsaw. I used the handsaw one. I hope that one comes out again. That one was good. Mainly because it wasn't a chainsaw. And they did a pretty good sound effect on it. That one was pretty nice. I just want, like, even if it's sounding like it's chopping, I want it to... Whoops. What's going on? I want it to actually move like it's chopping, or not have, like, the visual of a chainsaw, but have a sound effect of a... I mean, like, I want it to be more realistic, basically. Which is silly for me, who's sitting here running around with super strength. But, you know. The heart wants what the heart wants. Or something. I think I couldn't load the other ones when they were longer. I think I just couldn't load those because I have my universal auto load set for this trailer for I think 10 meters, and all of them were over 10 meters. That's why it wasn't working for those other ones. Last time I did this. Okay, not close enough. Considering the brake here is working as both a brake and a reversing, it's actually really hard to get this thing to stop. If that makes any sense? Like, I can't just hold down the brake and be like, oh, I'm stopped. It actually doesn't work that way. I have to kind of drift to a stop. And now, to figure out how to get through this super dense forest to the other side where my prize trees are. I don't know where I'm going. Oh, look, a tree. I think that was the first one I cut down, huh? Yeah, it's the first one. Is it still full size? It's still full size. Perfect. But it was trimmed already. Who did that? Did I do that? A herring? I do. I need a herring. Don't laugh. Don't laugh, Jack. I think you were the one who mentioned that last time. And I actually put significant amount of effort into making a herring chainsaw. I even downloaded a 3D model of a herring and turned it into a chainsaw, but I couldn't find a 3D model that I liked enough. I actually tried. I did. I still have that 3D model on my computer somewhere of a herring. Just for you. I remember you talking about that in your Calmland series. I totally downloaded a 3D model of a herring so I can make a herring chainsaw. I think I see some clearing up here as far as how to get there. Brilliant! Not dead yet. Yes, you are. What a flesh wound. Ah, I found the secret path on the side of the mountain through the forest of unrequited trees. Oh, break, break, break. There we go. Whoop, whoop, oh, no. Close enough. Nope, not close enough. I see one more piece. It's all my deadwood. Driving over one of the pieces. That one. And then get this one. Oh. 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 know how to get out of here. I don't even know where I am. It's the hardest part of this map. Is the forests are so dense, it's hard to even figure out where you are. Okay, I need to go south-ish. No. No, oh, I'm in trouble now. I'm not gonna make this. I'm totally gonna get caught. I'm gonna get stuck in the forest again. It's not the first time. And we made it. Oh, and there's my road. Quick, get to the road before we get caught somewhere. There we go. All right, perfect. The comforting sound of a gravel track through the meadows. I'm gonna come up here, get rid of that F1 menu. Where's my track? There it is. What does this one look like in cab? Let's look. Except for the big crane arm in front of me. I like how the Pensfelt logo on the steering wheel is like just 2 rings. It's like almost an Audi logo, but not quite. I wonder if they're owned by Audi. The Pensfelt, I don't know what it's called. But the in cab for this is pretty nice. And there's also a green tint on the windows. I don't know if anyone saw that. I only noticed that after I spent 6 hours modding this tractor to be different colors. But the extra power this thing is beefy. Alright, let's figure out how much wood we got, and then we're probably going to call it. I gotta go feed the dog. Hear her whining. Okay, first of all, let's look. How much wood are we getting from all this work? Let's look. Our sawmill currently has 104,840. 104,840. That's how much wood is in our sawmill. Pull up here like this. There's a lot of cameras on this vehicle. Come up here and go like this. 104,8. What is it? 104,829 and 117,426. 104 to 117. That's 13,000 liters. So I got like 13,000 liters from that one contract. That's not bad. It takes a lot of work. Honestly, the Deadwood contracts do take a lot of work. But I'm getting 7,000 liters, and then I turn those 7,000 liters into like wood beams and wood planks and sell them for bank. Right? I could come over here and it's running. I've been selling stuff off as fast as it comes out, but like just these 4 pallets, it's probably like $8 grand worth of stuff to sell. So out of that 7,000 liters, I can probably make, well, I don't know, 20 or 30 grand. So doing the Deadwood contracts is totally worth it if you're willing to take the time to do it. You don't really need a steering wheel to do the Deadwood contracts. It's a lot of manual labor. And I don't think you even need my mod to do that. That's actually something you can do in base game, which is the whole, like, in base game, you can take stuff, use it for your own needs, then get rid of it or whatever. But anyways, that's going to be it for me tonight. I've been going for about 2 hours. My arms are getting tired. This steering wheel is like unlocking muscles that I'm not used to using. I haven't used in 20 years. The whole bus driving thing. But thank you everyone for coming in and joining this late night stream. It's been really awesome. I love having everyone in the chat and everyone asking questions and stuff like that. I love talking about my mods because they make me happy to make them and make them for everyone. And Psycho Kid comes at the last minute, right when we're saying goodnight. Sorry, Psycho Kid, but thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming by. Don't forget to hit the like button. Let YouTube know you had fun. And Nacho, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And everyone else, thank you for being here. Catch you later. Bye-bye. Wrong thing again. I did it again. There you go. Bye-bye.